When reality hits hard, grinning face with sweat, face with tears of joy. The neon glow of downtown Chicago bounced off the wet pavement, the kind of night when the city itself looked like it had cried and then put on lipstick to hide the bruises. Amir Khan, 24, stood outside the 7-Eleven with a paper cup of coffee that tasted more like warm cardboard than caffeine. He wasn't supposed to be here, not in America, not in this moment, not living a life that looked nothing like the dream he'd carried across oceans. His parents back in Karachi had sold land, borrowed money, and whispered to neighbors about Amir's big future. They believed he'd be living the life of the American dream, a shiny car, a respectable job, maybe even a house with a little white fence. Instead, Amir was cleaning tables in a diner at 3 a.m. for tips that barely covered rent. The dream that wasn't he. Yo, Khan. The voice snapped him out of his thoughts. It was Marcus, his co-worker, leaning out of his rusty Toyota. You riding or what? Amir forced a grin and jogged over. Marcus was a Chicago native, 2 years older, who carried himself with the unshakable confidence of someone who had stopped caring what the world thought. They worked the same diner shifts, shared cheap meals, and sometimes, in silence, shared the same broken dreams. Inside the car, Marcus lit a cigarette. Man, I swear, people think America's streets are paved with gold. Truth is, it's just gum and broken glass. Amir chuckled softly. Back home, they wouldn't believe you. They think I'm living like a king here. Yeah, Marcus blew smoke toward the cracked windshield. Then don't ever tell them the truth. Let them have their dream, even if it's your nightmare. A different America. For weeks, Amir had been sending edited pictures to his family, standing in front of someone else's BMW, taking selfies in front of tall buildings he couldn't even afford to walk inside. His mother's voice notes carried pride, and that pride was the only thing keeping Amir from crumbling. But the truth, his bank account was bleeding. His landlord had given him one last warning. And worse, the diner manager had cut his hours. That night, Marcus offered something Amir wasn't ready to hear. Look, man. I got a way to make quick cash. Anti-legal, but it's fast. You in? Amir froze. What do you mean? Marcus didn't sugarcoat. Delivery. No questions asked. One bag, one address, cash in hand. $200 in an hour. Amir's gut twisted. His father's voice echoed in his head, remember who you are, Amir. Even in America. But then another memory hit harder, his little sister's message from last week, bye, school fees are due. Can you send something just a little? Amir closed his eyes. Reality had no mercy. The first delivery. The first drop was simple. A backpack, a dark street, a doorbell. No questions, no faces. 2 crisp hundreds slid into Amir's trembling hands. He told himself it was just this once, just enough to help his sister, enough to buy time until he found a real job. But reality had its own rhythm. 1 drop became 3. 3 became 5. Soon Amir was juggling diner shifts with deliveries, each time walking faster, looking over his shoulder, telling himself this wasn't who he was. And yet his bank account was finally breathing. His mother's voice notes became full of prayers and blessings. His sister's laughter over the phone sounded like sunlight. For the first time, Amir felt like he was actually winning. When it all crashed. It happened on a Tuesday night. The rain was heavy, the streets slick. Amir pulled up outside a narrow apartment building with another backpack. But this time, as soon as he rang the bell, the door slammed open. Red and blue lights exploded around him. Shouts filled the air. Police! Hands where we can see them. Amir's world blurred. He dropped the bag, his knees hitting the wet concrete. His chest pounded as if his heart was trying to escape. Marcus was nowhere. Just gone. In the holding cell that night, Amir sat with his head in his hands. Every decision, every sacrifice, every lie to his parents came crashing down. He imagined his father's silence, his mother's tears, his sister's confusion. When reality hits hard, he muttered bitterly, "It doesn't knock first." The unexpected turn. But reality, cruel as it was, had one more twist. The charges didn't stick. Turns out Amir had been just a pawn, low-level, invisible, a replaceable piece. The detectives wanted bigger fish. Amir was offered a deal: cooperate, share what he knew, and he'd walk free. For days, Amir wrestled with it. Loyalty to Marcus, to himself, to his family's honor. Finally, he chose survival. He gave them everything he knew. Marcus was arrested 2 weeks later. The price of survival. Amir walked free, but freedom came with scars. The diner fired him. The community whispered. Marcus's friends sent quiet threats. But Amir didn't run. Instead, he applied for classes at a community college, working night shifts at a warehouse to pay for them. He sent smaller amounts of money home, honest money, though it hurt to see the disappointment in his family's voices when the dollars weren't as many. One night, alone in his tiny apartment, Amir recorded a voice note for his sister: "Listen. I can't be your hero yet. I'm still figuring things out. But one day, when you look back, I want you to know your brother didn't give up. Even when reality hit hard, he got back up." The ending. Years later, Amir would walk across a graduation stage, the first in his family to hold an American degree. His parents would cry tears that tasted of both pride and sacrifice. His sister would wave from the stands, her school fees long paid. But in Amir's own heart, he knew the truth: the American dream wasn't shiny cars or fast money. It was surviving the punches, finding strength in failure, and carving a life with hands blistered but clean. And every time he thought of Marcus, or those long nights in the diner, he couldn't help but let out a small, broken laugh. Because sometimes, when reality hits hard, grinning face with sweat, face with tears of joy, you either fall apart, or you learn how to rise.